Welcome back to Foundation version 1, where our city is definitely growing. We have at the top over here our old city with our manor, right? We had a lot of farms, and then we built a second city, which is now, it started as a small village. Now it's basically a city. We have events, houses, both in terms of density and qualities. So we have commoners, we have the big market here, a tavern, we have it all. We even started some new productions like the candles, right, that are using the wax from our monastery in the back here. We're starting to make money with trade, right? I shared a lot of the trade secrets in the last episode. And I also mentioned that I thought my mandates were broken because I couldn't see any prospecting. But I just realized I was being dumb, it's good to admit when you're wrong. The reason why I can't see any of the prospecting anymore is because my bailiff cannot actually go there. The bailiff is gonna take this bridge and then he has to go through this. There's not enough space for him to walk there. So he has to go through this and then he's stuck inside. There's no door in the back. I didn't put a door in the back. So that is why, the prospecting is not there anymore. He just can't get there. There is a river the whole way. So now I have two ways to fix this. One is I could build a bridge, for example, over here, right? You could have a bridge that goes and then they would have access to this whole piece. Or, very simple, is I can take this and say, sorry, you going to be deleted. No, it's not you, sorry, you are going to be deleted. So now this is open. Now the garden is open. Actually, to be more precise, let's take out this one. And then let's rebuild that one. So we have a garden, or let's do it properly, sorry, my bad. Let's do it actually properly where, they can walk over here. And then there's gonna be a gate somewhere over here, and then here we can click the plus button to extend it again. And same on the other side, we're gonna do that and get it there. So that should fix it. I don't know if it's gonna fix it right away because now we have something that is semi-built, but we can check it. It does fix it right away. So now we have many deposit minerals that are available again for prospecting. They will take, a lot of money, 50 each and 10 turns. You can also check where they are, if you want to focus first of all on all of these. For example, you can make sure you select these ones, not the others that are on this side or somewhere else. But yeah, we're basically going to do a lot of prospecting so we can see what type of resource we have on each side. And then we're going to decide if we make a city basically on this side, a city on that side, right? Maybe, for example, over here on top of this. But I still think it'd be great to put a gigantic castle at the top there. I think that makes tons of sense. So I hope you're ready for this. I'll see you in a sec. Now to make a big castle, I wanted to unlock, the tier 3 of the kingdom, but I didn't have enough influence. So I did something very sneaky. As you can see, these trees here, they're part of the castle keep. I click on the castle keep and then I took those trees, but I put them around my manor instead of putting them on the castle because I didn't feel like, they were kind of in line with the theme of the castle. But with that, we have gotten enough, splendor of the kingdom, 75. We got 100 to be precise, to unlock tier 3. So with this, we got access, to the top castle here, like a lot of new things. We also have the stone castle wall, that's going to be important. Castle splendor package. We have tier 3 kingdom privilege. And the last but not least, we're going to unlock the command post. All of these, by the way, they do cost not money, they cost points, right? Because these kingdom influence or labor influence in this case, or clergy influence. If you don't have enough, for example, over here, right, I need 35 for this labor, this next labor one. That's a lot. You may not have enough. So if that is the case, you can go into your mandates. Similar to the prospecting, you will find over here influence the labor estate in your favor. Cost really not a lot of money, 25. It does cost a lot of time, but not a lot of money. And they will bring you soul. I can do it again for the influence, the kingdom estate, for example, because I just spent all of them, right? I have 0 now, so I can do it. It's gonna give me 10. That's not huge, but it's better than nothing. You can also gain some with many of the quests, right? But this is one way that you can really get some for free if you wish, basically. Then, before we talk about the castle, I do want to show you over here, we're doing a major improvement of the city, alright, and many things are under constructions, because I have built one thing. I have built just one thing, this one thing over here, a modest castle watchtower. So if I go, into my building menu over here, I used to have only the village watchtower, then I got the rustic castle watchtower, and now with tier 3, I got the modest castle watchtower. And the big difference is that this is giving heavy fortification. This one is light fortification, this one is heavy fortification. You need patrollers to spend time in them, right, like any of the other watchtowers, but this is also giving, by the way, a pretty big kind of range. Look, let me show you over here. This is the whole range, right? It's pretty big, and you may also realize the color is a bit dark purple, right? I used to only have light purple, and now we have this dark purple. So that's gonna be the heavy fortification. And with this heavy fortification, everything over here is upgrading, because now we're moving from the medium housing density to the high density housing. Now you still need, by the way, the patrol coverage, right? It's not like you can stop it, otherwise they will go back to the low density. But yeah, we're gonna move to the heavy density housing, which will increase the number of people, right? We will be able to have 10 villagers in one house. So we went from 2 to 6 and now to 10. So the jump is pretty big, it definitely is worth it in my opinion, especially given that it only requires this one building, or you can also have walls. And this is what we'll do in another place. But I'm thinking, we're gonna keep probably the city a bit like this, where I'm gonna have heavy density there, and then a mix of medium good quality and low quality here, all right? I think that's looking good. Then we have our city over here. I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna put any high density or not. We actually have a bit of trouble with the food over here. The market is not keeping up with the demand, this market over here. Look at this, for example, the meat and the bread in particular are not very high. So that's been a problem, but look at my average, happiness, it's definitely very high. Most of my people are getting everything they need. And then, yeah, I started to buy a couple of the territories over here and started to just kill all of the trees using the resource remover. Now, if you don't know, resource removal is not instantaneous, right? Like I've said, removal of this, and they haven't done it yet. It basically sends, instead of sending a woodcutter, it sends a builder, and the builder just destroys the trees, and then the tree is gone. So it's quicker than cutting all of the trees, and you don't need to, store all of this wood somewhere, but it does take time, and it takes builders in particular. But yeah, we are slowly but surely going to cut all of this. I mean, this used to be full of trees, they're already all gone. So we're gonna be able to start soon making my big castle there. And the other thing is, you may have realized in my mandate, I have done all of the prospecting. So if you look, over here, you can see some resources. You can also see them on the map, by the way, right? On the map over here, I can see, okay, this place here, it has some iron, it has some stone, and it has some quartz. This one here has some marble, iron, and quartz. This one has 2 stone and 1 iron. Not as important, I guess. And there is another one in the north over here somewhere. Yeah, there's another one over here that actually has some different resources. Oh, by the way, sorry, I forgot. There is also this side here, 2 gold and 1 stone. And then at the top, there is 1 iron and 1 marble. So I actually have 0 deposit of jewels. So we're gonna have to import the jewels, I guess. But we do have quite a bit of gold on this side, and we have quite a bit of other resources, including the quartz that will be needed, very soon on this side. So yeah, the plan is definitely gonna be to build here very soon. But first, again, I need to cut trees and I need to make sure that this part over here grows a bit more. Look at how compact it is looking now, right? Those houses take a lot of space, right? This is just one house, but now there's multiple, small houses into it. And yeah, that makes it so compact. I love to see that. I love to see that we still have the roads in the middle. They still kind of kept the space, and that is why each of these houses is actually very different in shape, right? Because it's really taking the space and filling it. And it was looking so good that I decided to do also the same in that city over here, with the same concept of let's have the top of the city very dense and the bottom that can stay, relatively not dense. I mean, look at the difference between this part over here that is really, really wide, a lot of space, and this part here that is so tight together. I did also start a couple of new things over here. We have, for example, a cobbler, a paver's yard, right? That is basically paving the street on this city over here. So far, I have stopped there. Maybe we'll go all the way, to Abbey over here, or maybe we'll go all the way this side where I also build a bridge, and 2 of these builders workshop to try to clean all of these trees as quickly as possible. I'm going to show you that in a second because we've done it. It took a couple of months in game, but yeah, we've done it. So yeah, here there is basically now quite a bit of space. We are now very close to 400 people. Still going strong on money. I'm selling a lot of stuff. Food is okayish, except the meat still, it's very strange. 1 second it's at 150, the next it's at 40. I don't really know what's happening with the meat. I think, to be honest, it's a bit of a bug, but whatever. We have, so all of this, as I said, it's working. We have the paver's yard over here. I did make also another production of clothes. So we have a sheep farm that then transforms the wool into clothes in the weaver's hut, and then the clothes are transformed into actual common clothes into this tailor shop here. We have one stonemason hut to create a bit more of polished stone. So yeah, this city is basically done. I feel like this is fine like it is. I also expand a bit the church. Now it has an attendance of 66, so it's a pretty small one, but actually pretty big in terms of space. And I expanded also a bit the lounge, the tavern, because there's a lot of commoners over here that did want to go into it. But yeah, speaking about the very important thing, this side, we have cleaned most of the trees. You can see there is still a couple of trees in the middle, because I focused first on taking the trees in the back so that we can build this gigantic fortification. So this is the new heavy fortification I mentioned before, right? You go over here and you have the stone gatehouse, right? You can rotate it as always, right? And then we have, sorry about that, then we have the actual stone wall. And you can see that now this is closed, so everything inside will get the heavy fortification. That is really cool. So we're gonna be able to do the city, a city inside, it's not just gonna be a castle. I think we're gonna put a castle over here. I'm thinking we also keep space for a gigantic church somewhere maybe over here. And then I'm thinking at the bottom there, we put some houses, right? So that's gonna be kind of like maybe our end game city, right? Where we take the highest level of everything, right? We're gonna take high level castle. We'll get to the monastic abbatial church, right? The biggest church possible. We'll put, of course, a city market, right? Which is a normal market, but it's big enough that it can provide resource to densely populated areas. And later on, maybe also the city belfry, right? We're gonna put all of those things inside here. I hope we're gonna have enough space. I'm thinking also maybe in the back there, bows, making some swords and things like this. And then of course we're gonna want to take care, to start using this gold here, to start using these quartz on this side, etc. So let's first build the city fortification, which as you can see is gonna cost more than 200 stone, almost 200 polished stone, and almost 100 tools. It's also probably gonna take a while because I don't actually have a lot of workers, close by. Most of the workers working there are D6 and they're pretty far. So they tend to do like, 5 minutes of work and then it's time for them to go back home. But yeah, I think, ladies and gents, this is definitely the next step. So let me build this fortification. I'll see you in a minute. While this heavy fortification is starting, I've also decided to expand a bit my monastery. I had a bit of space on this side and the church wasn't actually that big. I have quite a lot of people in my monastery. I don't remember exactly how many, but look, monks is 30, nuns is 20, and I think it's full. So we have like 50 something, and the church was less than 40, or 40 actually, sorry, it was exactly 40. So I felt like, let's expand the church a bit. I'm not super happy with this part here. I feel like this part is looking strange now. Maybe we just need to take out that part and then put something slightly different in the middle, like maybe a tower actually. A tower to connect both sides. Something like this. That feels a bit better. We put also a couple of trees, a couple of these benches, right, where people can sit down and enjoy. Make sure that you also use the roof to put a couple of those crosses or gargoyles. And with this, we're gonna increase, clergy splendor by a bit more than 50. So that's that's a lot. That's a lot. I see it didn't increase by 50 yet because I guess some of them need to be built before we get it. But the great thing is when we do get this 50, we're going to jump over the 150 and therefore we're going to unlock tier 4 of the clergy, which will give us access to the tier 4 privilege. It will also give us access to even more splendor package. And last but not least, it will give us access to wine. Wine that will take grapes and barrels. Barrels is in the common pass. We haven't started actually making barrels, even if we could. It's planks, iron tools. That's, it's hard in the sense that iron is pretty hard to make, but it's not so hard in terms of resources, like we have those resources. And then, yeah, the grapes will be basically in the monastery. Maybe we can put it over here somewhere. We can expand this and make it there, I feel. But yeah, this monastery will get even bigger. And speaking of the monastery, we have now quite a lot of manuscripts. This is the novice, but we also have enough to actually get a brother to the next level. Right? They have 100% of happiness, so we can get it. It's 50 of these books, but we're manuscripts, right? But we have 200. So let's get this one upgraded to a prior. We have a first prior, and they want the same thing, so that's not too bad for us, it feels. And let's change these names to Aaron. Thank you, Aaron, for your comments and following the series. So you are the first prior that we have, and again, hopefully that will help us going forward. First prior promoted. Reverends fill the air as your monastery appoints its first prior. This wise leader will guide the community in faith and wisdom, bringing all a more profound sounds of peace and spiritual fulfillment. Love it, love it. And by the way, I know I show you most of the time the finished building, but I do have to mention that I think Foundation is also doing a great job having super cool visuals and animation when they're building, right? Look at this crane over here, and part of the building has been built. There's some resources lying around, right? I think this is pretty cool. It is the chapel of the monastery has been built. We've doubled the attendance to 80, so now we shouldn't have any problems on this side of the town. And we have reached more than 150 of splendor, at 167 to be precise. So we've unlocked tier 4. I've already unlocked the tier 4 clergy privilege, and now we can do together the next clergy splendor package. And last but not least, we will do the wine. With that, then our next objective is to actually double it to 300. That's gonna take a bit, right? You could, if you want to do it very realistic, you know, you could take a lot of space, or what we can do is obviously take advantage a bit of the new splendors we just unlocked. We have, for example, this golden cross that will give 8 of splendor versus, you know, the normal gargoyle was only 2. It does take quite a bit of advanced resource, 10 gold bars and 5 tools, and this is a sculpture, meaning it's not just the resources, you need to put it into a sculpture thing, which is in the builder's workshop. You'll find it in the builder workshop, you have the sculpture workshop. And then, you know, you add it, and then this is how they make those sculptures. So I did want to show you this. And yeah, as I said, you know, I'm sure there is a couple of others that we can find. I mean, these ones I think we already had. They're also 8 of splendor. This one is also 8. So yeah, they cost pretty much a lot of resource, but they could give us the 150 pretty quickly. I don't know if there's any other. I mean, this looks big. This is only 5. I do like usually to use the one that costs coin because I have tons of coins. But I also try to make it realistic, right? That it's not just 10 trees. I know some people, what they do is they put the trees also on top of each other. I think that tanks performance like crazy, but yeah, it's possible. Last but not least, the heavy fortification of our new city has been built. There's still a couple of trees, so let's make sure we take them all out. Right, it's gonna take a second. Yeah, we took everything out, but the fortification has been built. We can see it is a heavy fortification inside. So again, in the next episode, we're gonna be able to get started with some habitation, right? Heavy density habitation, a big castle, a big monastery, a big church, a cathedral if you wish, right? And I think will be on this side. And also we need to start doing some of these other missions, right? That we have had over here for a while. We want to have a bow company. We want to have some war rations so that we can do the more advanced missions. You know, I've been doing those missions over here, but for the more advanced ones here, like convoy escort, enemies on the move, freeze the granaries, and definitely also these ones at the bottom, we're gonna need rations, right? So yeah, that's the next episode. Please smash like button. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you next time.